So we go into game 1, the 39 Steps. The 39 Steps is a game I bought back November 17th, 2014. Came out April 4th, 2013. It had a $16.99, so $17 price, and I bought it for $2.60 or $2.59. So by my math, that's about 85% off. Its description reads, prepare to experience the original man-on-the-run thriller in a completely new way. This digital adaptation of John Buchanan's incredible book, an inspiration to Ian Fleming's James Bond, be transported back to 1914 London, where Richard Hannity finds himself framed for a murder he didn't commit. Now he must escape the capital and stay alive long enough to solve the riddle of the 39 Steps. There are secrets to be discovered, locations to be explored, and above all, an incredible tale to be told in this groundbreaking interactive novel. So it boasts a new form of entertainment, merging words of literature, gaming, and film into one visually stunning storyline, faithfully constructed using the original and best-selling novel, hundreds of hand-painted digital environments, authentic materials from 1910 Britain, 8 different storytelling mechanics, 25 collectibles, 16 awards, and an original soundtrack by someone named Cy Berg, and theatrical voice performances including Ian Hanmore, Greg Hemphill, and Benny Young. Made in Unity and is supposed to be about 5 to 8 hours. At time of recording, it has a score of 77% from 799 reviews. So, why did I buy this? I think I was drawn to this from the Ian Fleming pedigree, whose novels were recommended to me by my stepbrother, who also recommended I play the first Deus Ex game, so it's hard to argue that he's void of taste. And, supposedly it's James Bond. It had a very cool looking art style on its preview page. So this is a weird place to start the series overall, because it's kind of one of those experimental style games. It's pretty much a digital version of the book with a strong backing of sound and art. Technically it's just a visual novel. It's maybe the best visual novel I've ever seen, and I'd like other visual novels to imitate it, but if you can't stand that type of game, this game might not entirely be for you. That's a matter of taste.
Richard Hannay, you have got into the wrong ditch, my friend, and you had better climb out.
Let's start with the strengths of this. It went all out for the visual novel. The style is really interesting. The Foley and the background sound is good, like really good, like really holy fuck, this is really good. Adding on to this is some really quality voice acting. Not all visual novels do any voice acting, and the voice acting in this is superb. Not compared to anything, just on its own superb. What I had a lot of fun with was listening to the accents and the sort of old-timey dialogue. I don't know if it's period accurate, mostly because I don't know how different English was in the early 1910s compared to now. But it definitely sounds like it's different to the English they speak now, and that's a lot of fun to listen to.
I'm very sorry. It's a mighty liberty, but you look like the kind of man who would understand. I've had you in my mind all this week when things got troublesome. Say, will you do me a good turn?
I'll listen to you. That's all I'll promise.
Pardon. I'm a bit rattled tonight. You see, I happen at this moment to be dead.
What does it feel like?
As for the visual style, most visual novels are somewhat of an anime manga style. This is a three-way blend of three different styles. The first is the aforementioned paintings that have a smoky silhouette characters throughout them. The second visual style are these high info primary source document styles like newspapers, tickets, adverts. Kind of chunks of books that you're meant to peruse through, and supposedly they're period accurate. I'm not sure. And the last is a truly adorable sort of black and white sepia grade old-timey cartoons. They're an absolute joy to watch. The overall aesthetic and little stylistic choices they choose to sort of flesh out the game as a whole really push it head and shoulders above any other visual novel game I've played or seen. It's very, very good. Now, if we have to be honest here, and if there are drawbacks to this game, besides the fact it's a visual novel, which not everyone likes, it would there's definitely only two, and one is the dialogue writing and the controls. The controls are awful. Really, actually, super awful. You're supposed to move the dialogue forward by making circles with your mouse because fuck off, because I don't know. It's weird because most visual novel style games you can just sort of click through them, spacebar or mouse, and in this game you actually can still click through them, and they're dramatically more reliable than continuously making circles with your mouse. Wax on, wax off. So you might wonder, why would you ever try and make the circles if they're not particularly responsive? That would be a very good question that I can't answer for you. Apparently they tried something new, and you should just abandon that control scheme altogether. What makes it even worse is that occasionally throughout the game, there are these complex hand movement, non-timed quick time event style things. I don't even know how exactly to describe them. And you're supposed to trace shapes on the screen with your mouse. Those are also not very responsive, and what qualifies for them to show up, I'm not sure of what makes a complex hand movement and what doesn't. It eludes me entirely. The other big problem is the non-dialogue writing. The dialogue is fun, the actors really bring it to life, but the actual plot and story is not great. The plot is short bus slow. It takes at least 50 minutes before it kicks off and starts to go anywhere. And that's not kick into high gear and get super exciting. That's just to start getting interesting. Which it does, just real slow. The other issue is the plot, which, spoilers, but it's an international European thriller / mystery set right before World War I, so it's about forces conspiring to start World War I because all pieces in that time setting are about forces conspiring to start World War I. So, I've now put an hour and a half into this, and do I recommend it? Depends. If you like visual novels, yes, I would absolutely recommend getting this. If you got a hard-on for good Foley, then yeah, the sound design in this will give you an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, trust me. But if you're not that into mysteries, or you're very picky about your mysteries, for $16, you could probably rent a better film that will last you the afternoon. If you're curious about experimental game styles in general, just put this on a wish list, find out when it's on sale, and then pick it up for $2.50 like I did. It's mixed.